What's going on, W.P.F family? Hope everybody had a great weekend and a safe weekend as always. And man, do we have a live tonight for you. Now, we did go live for Night of Champions. So if you end up missing us Saturday, well, shame on you. But this weekend was so packed with wrestling. So we got a lot to talk about. Tonight we're going to talk about TNA SLAMMiVERSARY, AEW Forbidden Door, and wow, did we just have a really good Monday Night Raw. So we got 3 shows, 3 promotions to talk about. I'm hoping most of you guys, girls, cats, and dogs saw most of it. But if you didn't see all of it, don't worry. We have you covered. And every show was fantastic. I don't have a bad thing to say overall on TNA, AEW, or WWE Monday Night Raw. I think all 3 delivered. And when that happens, us as the fans, we're the winners. Well, let's real quick do a little road call so see who we got that pulled up so far. We got Team No Sleep in the building. Smash that like button. What up, King? What up, my brother? We got the big man in charge. Hit that subscribe and like button, people. Too sweet. We got my Brody Thunder. Thunder! What up, brother? Too sweet. We got the Wolf's Lumbers. He's a troll. It figures. But don't worry. We'll give you a shot before we throw you out. We got my brother from another mother, the Troll Exterminator. Big D in the building. Too sweet, brother. There he is. We got the Irish psychopath himself. What up, Rob? Too sweet. Hey, I like Batman and Joker, so you can go whichever way you want, my man. All right, so chat. We got 3 companies to cover. I'm going to let you guys decide on which company we start off with. Do you guys want to start off with TNA SLAMMiVERSARY? Do you want to start off with AEW Forbidden Door? Or do you want to start off with WWE Monday Night Raw? So, first one to put it in the chat, which way you want to go, we'll start off that, because it doesn't matter which way we go. There are 3 different promotions that don't interfere with each other. So, hey, sorry I missed Saturday's stream. I'm on vacation. Nice, bro. All right, Thunder, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, man, Thunder said I was outside. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to do WWE, AEW, and then we'll save TNA for the last. Okay, boys. All right, so right off the bat, actually, you know what? Let's switch it. We'll do AEW first because there's less to talk about for AEW. WWE's we got actually a mouthful, which is good in a good way tonight. So we had AEW Forbidden Door. Now, I don't get it. AEW puts on these awesome pay-per-views, right? But then when it comes to the weekly shows of writing a story, they fall flat. Now, to me, that shows you that AEW has so good, their talent is so good that they're delivering on their pay-per-views, but they're falling flat on their weekly shows because it's kind of like what me and D have been saying. They need to fire whoever's writing it and get somebody new in there that actually wants to tell a story. You know, you want to you can't do an indie style wrestling if you want to be in the big leagues. You got to do the big league style. Let's get it done before Nasty gets. There he is, my Cowboys brother. What up, Chappelle? What up, fam? Too sweet. So, AEW, from, I want to say, not from the buy-in, because honestly, the last match on the buy-in was good, but the rest of the stuff that was on the AEW buy-in was lackluster, and I'm so happy that it changed pace. Like, that was the only thing I did not like. And I do have another problem. Why would you put the women's tag team titles on the pre-show? To me, that sends a message to someone like me that's not a diehard AEW fan, and it's a casual fan of AEW, that, hey, if you, the company, do not care about the women's tag titles, then why should I? Why in the hell should I care about it if you don't? So that to me is a big problem, because this isn't it's not like it just happened this time. They did it for the last pay-per-view also. And those girls in AEW holding the tag titles are awesome. Bro, they're two monsters. I love how they're like taller than the entire division. They go together like unbelievable. They do not deserve to be on the freaking buy-in show. They should be on the main show. You have gold. You should never be on a pre-show when you have gold. No, I didn't. Rob, I didn't do any that NXT stuff yet. I still gotta watch the Great American Bash. What up, C-Mac? Welcome to the channel. Oh, nice. So, onto the main roster, or should we say the main show. They had a lot of good matches. The Young Bucks versus C-Mills Tag Team Champions versus who's the other team? Who remember what was the third team that the Young Bucks and Mystico and Mascarado took on? I got you later tonight when we're done with the topics. Thunder. Who remembers who the third team was that was with the Young Bucks and the C-Mill team? I can't remember, I'm drawing a blank on that third team. But these guys put on a show. It was high flying, everything. You could not go wrong with this match. There was no gold on the line. And to me, the Young Bucks should have been the team going over. And luckily, they were the team to go over. And Thunder, next time you're live, I'll help you out. It's easier to do it that way. So that way we're not disturbing anybody who's here for what we're doing. Let me see. I think I still got the picture of the AEW card in my phone. Let me see. Yes, I do. All right. So, oh, that's right. You had New Japan's team. You had the Dragon, and I did not know this guy that was tagging with the Dragon. But supposedly, since Bullet Club and LIJ left New Japan, both of these guys were members of rival factions that were left behind, in other words. So they made a team of their own, and they're calling themselves, let me see if the name's on here. Boundaries. But overall, this match was it. Bro, it was phenomenal. Man, if you blinked, you would have missed it. That's how fast this match went. My man Chappelle said, just like AEW, don't put over Kenny Omega. I just don't get it. So, thankfully for AEW, this was a good time though. The next match, we had Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. Now, Kenny Omega went over, which was the right thing to do. But man, when I was watching this match, I said, if Kenny Omega does not go over, I'm turning it off. And I was really hoping that he went over because, like I said, this was early into the show. And this match with him and Zack Sabre Jr. was unbelievable. You know, a lot of like I love Zack Sabre as a wrestler, but he doesn't always entertain me with his style of wrestling. I will be on, but that's me. Not everybody. And Kenny Omega kept going for the one-winged angel, and Zack Sabre kept maneuvering into submissions, pinfalls. Man, this was such a good back and forth match that you didn't know who was going to win. You were literally able to watch this match and say, well, oh no, it can go either way. And thankfully, finally, he's not Kenny the Jobber Omega. Finally, he's on the road back to glory. Fact, it was a dope match. I do watch AAA, but I didn't watch it this weekend with everything going on. Kenny's first win in his last 20 he's not lying. Wait. 2 out of 20, you got to say, D. He did win that Stadium Stampede match when it was all of them. But hey, we all want Kenny Omega to be the cleaner again. We want the Kenny Omega who was putting on 5-star matches with Okada in New Japan. And hey, I get putting other talent over. Bro, that's a great thing to be willing to be a top guy and do that. But just like a YouTube Live, there's a time and a place to do things and ask for things. Same thing with Kenny Omega. There is a time and a place to put a guy over. where it benefits everybody. Now, Kenny Omega has been not benefiting himself at all, putting guys over left and right to the point where it's really not as big, him putting them over, which is why we need Kenny to get back to being the cleaner. And then here and there we let him put somebody over. Not every single match. Because then you got guys like us that start joking around calling him Kenny the Jobber. And then that's not good for nobody. But luckily we did the right thing with Kenny Omega. Kenny went over Zach. My favorite match I was looking forward to for the night was, and I'm glad it happened right after it actually, was Jon Moxley versus Bandito. Now, why Bandito is still an ROH talent is beyond me. We can argue about this for days, forget about hours, days, on why Bandito should be an AEW main roster. And if I was Bandito, I would turn around and be like, hey, either you move me up to the main roster in AEW with a pay raise, of course, or I'm calling up one of my friends that are in WWE and putting some feelers out that, hey, my contract is up at this time. Just let people know I'm interested. Because a guy like Bandito can work anywhere. He could work main roster. He could work NXT for a little bit. If they don't know him, he can work AAA. Bandito can do it all. He really is. So Bandito is so underrated. It's disgusting how underrated this man is. And he's strength-wise, he's a freak of nature. Now, I'm always biased when it comes to Moxley because I'm a Jon Moxley guy. So I don't ever want to see Mox losing. I don't care if Mox holds that title for the next 15 years. I'll be happy. But hey, Bandito had me worried quite a few times. I thought there were quite a few times I thought Bandito might have been going over Moxley. Luckily, though, that did not happen. And my boy and yours, Jon Moxley, put his ass down. Yo, what up, Tyler? What up, fucker? Too sweet. What did you think? Back to AEW storyline writing. I think they should have put Sting in the storyline writing position. That would have been something cool you could have done with Sting, for sure. Who better than Sting to be in creative? The guy's seen everything, done everything. I would definitely, or even make him a match producer. That could have worked too for Sting. I think it will be Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay for the AEW Championship down the road. Now, if they have somebody who actually has a half a brain and could write, Chappelle, 100%, that should be the end goal. That really should. Have Ospreay win it at Wembley, and then the next big pay-per-view should be Ospreay and Omega for the belt. And by that time, we can get a lot of wins under Omega's belt, making him a serious contender again. I'm watching my oldest branch. Well, good, Tyler. I'm glad you're over here also. Now, that threw me off my mindset for a minute. What else was good with Mox? So we had Moxley and Bandito. Oh, the tag match. Sorry for if there's any diehard AEW fans. I'm sorry, there's still Edge and Christian for me. Edge and Christian versus the Dogs was phenomenal. Bro, come on. The way Fit Finley and his bitch were mocking Edge and Christian doing the 5-second poses and everything. That was good storytelling. Edge and Christian was so good. And if you didn't see the match, well, if you plan on watching it, you may want to cover your ears then for a moment. So, this is a great back and forth match. The ref gets knocked out. Of course, Fit Finley and his bitch are cheating now. The lights go out. And next thing you know, a light hits on the top of the ramp of the Titantron where they come out. And you got none other than the Bang Bang Gang. And everybody's looking at them. You got Edge and Christian looking over towards them. You got the Dogs looking towards them, wondering what the hell are they. And they're not making a line, they're not making a beeline to the ring. And that's because Switchblade Jay White is in the ring waiting for the Dogs. And then, boom, Switchblade hits his finisher, gets out of there. Edge pins him. 1, 2, 3. And thanks to Switchblade Jay White, Edge and Christian keep the tag titles. And then it's still awesome. Jay White goes and gets the tag titles, brings them into the ring, and shows respect and gives it to Edge and Christian. Now Edge is dope. That you see them the pound and everything. That's going good. But Christian's not sold yet on Jay White. Christian is a little upset that he got involved. He doesn't trust him, which is understandable. Christian is a grumpy bastard. It's okay to be a little weary. You never know. But at that moment, Jay White was a good guy. And they gave them their respect that they deserved. And that was a dope way for Switchblade Jay White to come back to AEW. I seen a promo with Kenny and Will talking about it, and Moxley came into the room. Oh yeah, I saw that. I know exactly what you're talking about. At the end of it, Kenny told Osprey, should watch who you hanging out with. Switchblade, baby. Oh, yeah, D. Yo, CCP. Salute. Chappelle said, bro, I seen that. That was so dope, right? Bro, and to have Jay White, the Switchblade back. I got some inside WWE news when you're ready, brother. Nice. No doubt, D. CCP said, I agree. Yo, what up, big man? Too sweet. What was the next big banger we had for AEW? So the AEW Women's World Title match was the Spider Girl versus the girl from I think Stardom with the bear mask. Honestly, I'm not a fan of either girl, so for me, I was kind of just fast forwarding through the match. So, that really didn't do it for me. But the Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks, versus the It Girl, that wasn't bad. It started off slow, like to the point I was kind of like, because I didn't know the It Girl, but obviously we all know Sasha Banks. So I thought Sasha Banks was kind of going slow for her. But yeah, Tyler, I meant that's what I was talking about in the match before. Thella, whatever the hell her name is. She don't really do it for me as a champ. I'd rather see the AEW World Title for the women on Sasha Banks. And yeah, Maya World, the It Girl. I get a kick out of the nickname. I'm the It Girl. But luckily, Sasha Banks went over, making her the first ever two-time Owen Hart inaugural tournament winner. Which, hey, I'm happy for Sasha Banks. I always want to see her win. But did she need that win? To be honest, I think the Maya World, I think that was a time for a top star to put somebody over because I don't think that hurts her to lose Sasha Banks. She literally just won that tournament the year before. So for her to make it to the very finals and then lose would have, I think would have told a better story. And I think that would have helped her, Maya World, make her character so much more important and stronger. Because Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks, bro, she's so over. She can afford a loss here and a loss there. This is the girl who at one point had 13 titles. Not at once, not overall. At one time, she had 13 belts. This is a good time for AEW to be top. Company to be on top. The company talent is there. The story be booty sometimes. Oh yeah, CCP. That's what I don't get. Their weekly shows is ass when it comes to telling a story. But then when they have these big pay-per-views, they deliver. And you can tell that it's all about having this top talent. That this talent they have is that good. Because if they didn't have that talent, they wouldn't be able to pull them out of the mess on these pay-per-views. Tyler, message me the link instead of posting it another time. What was I gonna say? So Mercedes Moné, good for her that she's the first ever two-time winner. But like I said, she could have easily took the L for her. Now we get to the two big matches. The two bigger matches of the night. We got the 12-man cage match in their first ever doing this cage that kind of looks like the old Elimination Chamber, but without the pods. And you have Team MJF and Don Callis versus Team Mark Briscoe. And if Mark Briscoe's team wins, he will get a title shot against MJF. And MJF has hired Don Callis' goons to back him up for this 6-on-6 match. Now, this match I thought was going to be trash. I wasn't looking forward to it. They kind of gave you a pre-run of it without the cage. But the match worked. They had some good wrestling back and forth in it. They had some funny spots. There was a spot where Roderick Strong has a hockey bag and he's hitting people with it. So a little later on in the match, Team MJF goes to open the bag to see what's in this bag. They figure out there's got to be a good weapon in there. And what's in this bag? The best weapon ever. Lio Rush is in the bag. Man, the way they got Lio Rush looking like the ultimate creeper is so freaking awesome. Yo, Lio Rush should be sold as a Halloween costume at this point. Lio Rush's gimmick is so over right now. He looks like a complete crazy person. And Kyle O'Reilly also had an unbelievable spot in the match. He opens his backpack, takes out an old school Nintendo. First, he takes the controllers, gives one to I think Mark. They unwrap it and they're whipping people with the controller wires and if you don't think that hurts, let me whip you with a video game controller. I promise you do not want to get hit with that shit. MJF got robbed. Yo, MJF bet on the wrong horse. That was MJF's problem. He went with the wrong horse. Big man, we're not on WWE yet. We're on AEW at the moment. So freaking this match was so good. Kyle O'Reilly then takes the Nintendo system and a game. He blows on the game, puts it in the system, and mollywops at least two people. He drops Kyle Fletcher on the system. Such a good, funny spot. Then let's see what. Then Mark Briscoe pulls something out of his bag. Let's see what he's got in his backpack. I don't know, maybe like 500 thumbnails. Holy shit. Now, you just know that Mark Briscoe is going to end up in these thumbnails one way or another at one point. But he wasn't the one that landed in them the worst. And this right here is why I don't like Darby Allin. He takes a spot with these thumbnails where he gets flipped and he doesn't land on the thumbnails on his back. He ends up flipping to the front of him and lands on it face first. Why are you doing this shit? You should never, ever be doing that. How could you not think that, oh my God, like, yo, you're going to lose an eye one day doing something like that? Darby Allin is lucky to be alive. He got thumbtacks in his hands, in his face, in his neck. He is so lucky that one of those thumbtacks didn't go in his eye. He got very close. Yeah, Darby Allin's the guy with the terrible makeup. Man, I don't know why you do a spot like that. That's the shit that annoys me. See, in WWE, you wouldn't be able to do that, and that's what I like about that they try to take that stupid shit out of it. If I'm running AEW and they tell me that this is a spot they want to do in the ring, I'm gonna laugh at him first and say, "Well, I'm glad that you're sick enough to try it, but we're not doing it. Where's the payoff? Does almost losing your eye win you the world title? No. Are you gonna win the match off of doing this spot? No. So you get nothing out of this spot besides people going, holy shit, or the other half of the people saying, what's wrong with this guy? See, that's that backyard indie wrestling style that, bro, you're in AEW. There is no number 2 company at the moment to WWE, but AEW is a number 3 company. And if you ever want to advance to that number 2 spot behind WWE, shit like that's gonna need to change. Oh, TV networks don't want to freaking sponsor shit like that. Because Darby Allin still wants to be an indie star. A lot of AEW wrestlers act like they are still in the indies. Like, D put it perfectly. That's exactly it. Now, you damn right. The one mindset always. Now, the Andrade and MJF problems have been going on for a while. And they continued in the match. So after 3 times of problems of their own teammates after parting MJF and Andrade, we get the best turnout where Andrade's holding Mark Briscoe for MJF. And what does he do? He throws Mark Briscoe out of the way and runs with a big boot to MJF. Then he I forgot if he took the shirt off or if he ripped the shirt off. Because they all have shirts on that have MJF and MJF and Don Callis on the front. Have a good one, big man. And freaking this was epic. So now Andrade's he takes the bullshit shirt off and now he's got a shirt on that says F Don Callis, F MJF. You got Don Callis on the outside flipping out. You got Mark Briscoe confused as shit. Andrade goes to, tells Mark, go right ahead. Mark hits the J Driller on MJF. I'm sorry, maybe it wasn't MJF that got the J Driller. Well, one of them guys got it. And boom. We got Team Mark Briscoe wins the match. And it was a beautiful touch. You couldn't go wrong. It was a great overall match. And I'm really surprised. I didn't know if they were going to be able to pull it off with all those people in one cage. But they did it. They did a great match. Yo, what up, New York Yankee? Too sweet. Welcome back, New York Yankee. We're actually just about to finish up AEW. And then you got the main event. You got Will Ospreay versus Swerve. Now, no matter how you feel about AEW, they have some really cool entrances. And for the main event of the Owen Hart inaugural tournament and the main event of Forbidden Door, first we got Will Ospreay coming out, and they got him dressed up as Bane from Batman. Badass, absolutely badass entrance. He's got the mask. They got something hooked up to the mask with smoke coming out of the Bane mask. Shit was cool as shit. Then when Swerve comes out, and knowing that they've kept both of them under DC was a smart move too. Because either both go Marvel or both go DC. The minute I saw Swerve on a motorcycle with a cigar, I knew it was Lobo. And Swerve came out as my guy Lobo. Which was so badass to see Swerve do a Lobo entrance. You did good, guy. You did good. You didn't just kick ass in movies. Now you got wrestlers mimicking you. Good shit, Lobo. Man, and that shit was so dope. And not even just the entrance for these guys was awesome. Match of the night, easily. Will Ospreay and Swerve put on the match of the night, from in my words. And this could have been anybody's match. But the best way for this match to go was Will Ospreay winning. It tells a better story. The only thing bad about this is both of these guys need to win. You can't see either one losing because they're both on a similar, like, what do we do if we don't win scenario. So this was so good. And it could have went either way. Multiple times. Yeah, he could have did the kill shot entrance, but you know what? Supergirl and Lobo are just, it just came out, the movie. That's why they went with Lobo, guarantee it. I think that was the thought process behind it. Or because they had the stuff for it. That could have been it too. But this match was so good, and Will Ospreay went over Swerve, which that night he should have. They gave us the entire story of how the Death Riders are building Will Ospreay up, helping him and doing this and doing that, bringing Ospreay back, like helping him rebuild his body. Like, it was a beautiful story. It made sense. It worked. And the only thing that could have made it better was if the Death Riders ended up coming out and holding Will Ospreay up. Oh wait, they did do that. It was really good writing for the main event. So I don't understand why they can't do this during the week, but I'm starting to feel like maybe at these pay-per-views they're letting the wrestlers write the show. But that shit was perfect. Like if I had someone who hates AEW and told me that there's nothing good about AEW, well, that's the match I would have them watch. Because that match was beautiful. Swerve versus Ospreay was so freaking good. And then the way the Death Riders were in the ring and picked up Will Ospreay, like, yo, that was just a really cool moment. And Ospreay didn't leave with them. Ospreay's, his girl came out. when the minute he went to give his girl a kiss and a hug, the Death Riders did their thing and they exited, which was the right way to do it. And the Death Riders, they go through the crowd, badass exit and entrance, leaving Will Ospreay and his girl to walk up, and boom, AEW is over. Now, for the guys, girls, cats, and dogs who did watch this pay-per-view that are in the chat, out of 1 to 10, what do you rank this AEW pay-per-view? Yeah, me, I'm giving it an 8.5. An 8.5. Because the women's world title match was weak. And I'm annoyed that the women's tag team titles were on the pre-show again. But I would give this show 8.5 chairs out of 10. Swerve's been great since Lucha Underground. Hells yeah. Swerve's absolutely been great. So that Hunter AEW, they focus on Will because Will. Oh yeah. And then the next big pay-per-view for them is in Wembley. That's Will Ospreay's hometown. That would have been the worst thing they could have did, not making him part of that show huge. Big Man said, I'll give it an 8. What up, Izzy? I got to get it first. But something like that, Izzy, would be on my other channel. D said, I'm going to go 7.5, 8. Solid show all around. Not too many fumbles, but really good show. Now let's get into WWE Monday Night Raw. Now, if I had a friend who hates WWE or nasty and said, do you think that tonight's Monday Night Raw is the Raw to start watching it? I want to get back into it, or I want to give it a chance again? Hells yeah. Now, was it a 10 out of 10? No way. But was tonight's Monday Night Raw fantastic? Absolutely. Oh, that's right. We got breaking WWE news. Let's hear it, D. WWE is expected to sign Zilla Fatu if he hasn't already been signed. Woo. Now, you know what that means, everybody. We're going to have 2 nights. If we don't see Zilla on these 2 nights, then there's a good chance it's not happening. Correction, 3 nights, because SummerSlam's a 2-night show. If Zilla does not come out one of the nights of SummerSlam or the Monday Night Raw or SmackDown first week after SummerSlam, then we're going to be very pissed that we didn't get Zilla. But I think we got him this time. There's not a doubt in my mind that Zilla's not coming this time. My boy got over tonight with the F5. You damn right, big man. The current House of Glory Crown Jewel champion was recently seen at the WWE Performance Center going through a process in preparation for signing with the company. Zilla also just posted a pic on Instagram of Roman and Jacob. He said, "My family and my blood." And Roman is making a vicious bloodline. He's not making a soft bloodline. He's been playing nice and all for a little bit, but now that he's got Jacob Fatu, he wants to go back to being the vicious Roman Reigns. There he is. The man who rides on fire, Ghost Rider. Also, the Tuesday night co-host. That's right, me and Ghost will be tearing it up tomorrow night, 8:30, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Come through. We got some giveaways going down. Yeet. Hey, my brother Capitan. El Capitan Rafucho. What up, brother? How we feeling, Capitan? My boy, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the next pay-per-view for the belt. Oh, yeah. So we opened up Monday Night Raw the right way tonight. And that was with Obafemi coming out as our King of the Ring winner. And his dome is probably so big that he can't fit the crown on it, but so he was carrying the crown in hand. And he's in the ring, he's talking and everything. And then what everybody wants to happen happens. Brock Lesnar's music hits. And there goes Brock Lesnar and Heyman coming down. And listen, I don't know about you, but I love it when you got Brock laughing. When you got Brock in a fun mood, it's a fun time. Not for the guy that's on his shit list, but for us fans, it's a great. And Brock is killing it. He takes the mic from Paul Heyman and he tells Oba, a long time ago, I too won the King of the Ring. And he went to shake Oba's hand, but Oba, Oba's no idiot. He didn't shake his hand. He knew something was up. And he said, Oba, I also heard a few things that Paul Heyman told me, because everybody knows I don't watch the product, which that was the only thing I was kind of surprised that I could see them having a problem with, because you never want a top talent to be on TV. You know, your top paid guy is sitting there and telling the world, I do not watch the WWE product. Come on, Brock. You can't say that shit out loud. And then he's funny. He goes, you know what, Oba? I never could get the whole promo thing down. But hey, that's why I got Paul Heyman. You know, and he's still having laughs, him and Heyman. And then he goes, you know, I even heard that you had a few names you called me. You called me a coward, and he's still laughing. You called me a bitch, and he's still laughing. And then next thing you know, he's like, well, it's funny how you like to call me names when I'm not here. But you know what happens to people that call people names? And then, boom, Brock kicks him in the nuts, picks his big ass up, and bang, F5. Then Brock and Heyman are walking up the ramp to leave, laughing their asses off. Oba pulls himself together, challenges Brock Lesnar to a match at SummerSlam, which I've been saying was going to happen since WrestleMania now. Even when Brock was so-called retired, I told you this match would happen. Brock not only accepts the match, but he says to him, I'm going to one-up you. That's right. CMD, we always on that same page. Like, I'm going to one-up you, Oba. We're going to do the match in a Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell, Brock Lesnar versus Oba. If that shit don't get you hyped, you're not watching the right you're not a wrestling fan. So Oba's king of the ring, but doesn't want a title shot. Doesn't that defeat the whole point of King of the Ring tournament? Make me understand. That's what I want to see now. Now, what was the point of Oba winning the King of the Ring if this is what they were going to do? Why not have just flown Brock out to Saudi and have him interfere in the match? And then you have Oba coming out here tonight instead of as the winner, pissed the fuck off that Brock Lesnar just cost him King of the Ring. Now, are they going to do a thing where, hey, we'll let you, even though you're fighting Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, you're still going to get your title shot, but at the next pay-per-view? You know, they can easily do something like that, but as a fan, we need to know what do we where are we going now with this? Because if there's not going to be any title match for Oba now because he picked Brock Lesnar, then they just made the King of the Ring a joke. And they've been screwing King of the Ring up for a while now. So I would not be surprised if we drop the ball on that side of things. Hey, Bulldog Rick, what up, my brother? How we feeling? Too sweet. Just fed all my 56-inch critters on my ranch, LOL. Yep, I got 56, but got a few pretty quick. Hit that like button and subscribe. Damn right. Oba vs. Brock in Hell in a Cell match. That cage is going to cost big bucks to hold them both. Oba said he will get the belt when he wants to. You know, I really hope WWE is going to come out and say that Oba will get his title match next pay-per-view or just say at a later time. Otherwise, you've just taken the prestige king of the ring and made it a joke. You made the guy win it who's not going to fight for the title? Stupid. And if they're not going to, in that case, he might as well fight 2 nights. Fight Brock on night 1, fight for the belt on night 2. There you go. Rough, but I'm above ground, not playing with the devil, so power of prayer is strong. You're damn right, Bulldog Rick. And boys, what do we like to say to cancer? Fuck cancer. That's for shit sure. So now we're going to get Roman versus Seth, which that I'm happy about. I had said it on Friday that I heard they were looking at Seth Rollins to take on Roman. So that I'm excited for. I think Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are going to blow the house down. Bro, that's going to be such a good fucking match. You know, and we got the whole build up, the history there with the two of them. And I love how Seth made it a point tonight. So that way, if anybody didn't see it, he made sure to tell everybody and remind them about every time that those two were in a ring, Seth got the better of Roman Reigns. Big man, no drama. And now that's going to be the problem. Where do we go with Sami Zayn? Like, is it going to be now Sami versus Cody? I don't want to see that. I feel like it's going to be Gunther versus Nick Aldis at SummerSlam. I think that was the whole point of having Gunther go freak out the way he did and him and Nick Aldis get into it. Because if that doesn't happen, we can't pull Gunther then out of this triangle of bullshit. Yo, what up, Retro Bug? Too sweet. You and me both, brother. I hope so. I really hope so. Plus, I wouldn't mind seeing Nick Aldis versus Gunther. Because when I first heard Nick Aldis was going to WWE, I was so happy for him. And then when I saw he went there to be a general manager, I was like, "Are you kidding me? Give this guy a WrestleMania match at least, and then put him as a manager." If there's anybody that hasn't gotten that WrestleMania moment that's in WWE that deserves one for wrestling all the years, it's Nick Aldis. He made all the towns, he did all the work, and damn, the man was a good wrestler. What up, Jabroni? What up, Vince the Jabroni? Too sweet, Vince. Sammy will lose the belt. He's got no chance in hell to beat any top wrestler. Hey, I didn't even think that this guy was going to get the belt. I'm still shocked. Now, I will say that Sami Zayn deserved to be a world champion. Absolutely. He deserves to hold the belt once. But out of all the times that Sammy should have been champion and they didn't give him a chance, why in the hell are we putting the belt on him now? I'm telling you, if you took a homeless guy, sat him down next to Sami Zayn, and let Sami Zayn hold the cup, you would not know that is WWE World Heavyweight Undisputed Champion Sami Zayn. Now, I'm hoping that we're gonna get a whole makeover. Hopes maybe Sammy's gonna cut his hair, shave the beard up, Maybe we get something good with him. Where he doesn't look like an ass. But I can't take Sami Zayn serious. I can't take the guy as a threat. Me personally, I'm very interested in seeing how Sammy will do as champion. Also, his last real good guy gimmick to me is good. You mean his last real crybaby gimmick? Because all he does is they show him in the back talking to Johnny Gargano, who is dead to the world, complaining. Well, Vince, if you compare today's wrestling to back in the day, you are absolutely always going to feel like that. You just got to take it for the time, different times, different wrestling. Trust me, I wish we were back in the Attitude Era. Sammy got it by luck.
Just to confirm, you'd like to call Dan back.
No, I don't want to call nobody. Siri, stop. See, Sami Zayn sucks so bad that Siri is even confused on my phone at the moment. That's how bad Sami Zayn is. Now, I can't wait to see how long do we keep the belt on Sammy before it goes somewhere else. Does Sammy make it to SummerSlam as champion? Does he lose it this Friday on SmackDown? Which, please let happen. But Sammy is a joke. He got lucky, but overall, he's nobody to me. Dude, they need to use Johnny Gargano right and try to make a huge not for nothing. if they're not gonna do anything with Johnny Gargano and just make him look like he's dead to the world, why not give Gargano what he wants? Gargano wants to go back to NXT and work with the young talent and help get them where they gotta go. So why not do it? It's a win-win. Gargano's very loved on the NXT universe. And while he's wrestling in NXT, he could also help guys get to the next step. It's a win-win. Instead, they're paying him to just lay down and drool on himself, which by all means, I'd love to get paid to just lay down and drool on myself. I'm pretty sure I do it every night for free as it is. So I'd love to get paid for it. Y'all was so damn lucky to witness the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. You're not wrong, especially about the Attitude Era. But I will say one thing about the Ruthless Aggression Era. It was cool as shit, but it didn't start off cool as shit. It took a little bit to get to that. This is awesome time. But once it did, and before the Attitude Era, before the Monday Night Wars ever started, those days were good also. When Razor Ramon and Diesel were in WWF, we had some good times back then too. It sucks that none of it's but it's the times. That's what happened. Those eras were able to happen because Vince McMahon owned 100% of the company. He didn't need outside source resources. Bulldog Rick said Gargano has been a joke for so long, which is why I don't know if they're just doing this because they know that maybe he's leaving when his contract's up. Because that would be a great reason to me. If that's why they're doing this to Johnny Gargano, is because the minute his contract's up, he's going to AEW to join his buddy Tommaso. Because I'm sure there's got to be, some thinking of that. Your tag team partner just went up and left without nobody knowing. Who's to say that he's not going to do the same thing? He's got a lot of friends in AEW and a whole brand new start. Gargano had a 5-year contract with WWE. That's why he can't leave yet. Will do, D. Big man, I'm gonna say this once and once only. Then I'm not doing this shit. Otherwise, I'm throwing you out. If Donald timed you out or threw you out, it was because you're talking off topic and not or promoting shit. Because I told all my mods, if you're off topic or you're here to promote yourself, this isn't the place for it. This isn't the time for it. Bring back the Twin Towers. I wish. Hey, we got Dijak and Baron Corbin doing that gimmick right now, so that's pretty cool. I'm a mod. It's my job to control the room and keep everything the way Hunter wants and no one else. Exactly. Thank you, D. You know, a few lives back, I was trying to help out Thunder, and then out of nowhere, people thought it was this was come over and promote yourself night. Like, no, do the work the same way I had to do the work, and get yourself over. Go on your own channel and promote yourself. There's a time and a place to do things. And if you don't know how to do it, then don't say anything. You know, if someone truly wanted to promote themselves and get over to that next level, you would contact me one on one, not on a live in front of everybody, and talk to me. And seeing that no one has done that, that shows me that you're just trying to use what I built for your own selfish reasons. And we're not going to do that. It's just not going to happen. All right, that's the last time I'm addressing that. I'm done. All right, Retro Bug said, if you think about it, WWE nowadays are just paying it way too safe, but they're definitely capable of putting great stories and also build new stars too. Also, the IWC is just pure toxicity, man. Well, that's the problem too, Retro Bug. You got all these people that own percentages of the company that unfortunately have say. They have a say. That's why we'll never get the Attitude Era again. And on top of that, TV stations, you know, they don't want to put you on TV doing some crazy shit like, you know, the 90s was great. Ruthless Aggression was great too. But that was it. After that, we got into the soft era. And that was it. Everybody, these TV stations are emotional as shit. Like, hey, if you don't like what's on TV, change the channel. Simple as that. Don't complain. I don't see Johnny Gargano really doing any good in the AEW. Well, he can fight for the TBS title. So he'll have a division that he'll be good with. But if I was Gargano and I would go to TNA. Because you want to go to a company that has a TV deal. You know, you don't want to go to a company that doesn't have a TV deal. Because then you're just an indie. And you definitely don't want to leave WWE to go backwards. You're trying to go forwards. So you know, TNA, they need talent. They have a TV deal. They have a good working relationship also with WWE. It's a great move if you're not over in WWE right now, or if you're a great talent in AEW and you're not being used right. Good night, everyone. Hunter, I'll see you a bit later. You're damn right, my brother. Ghost, have a good night, brother. The man who rides on fire, the Tuesday night co-host. Have a good night, brother, man. And that's right, Ghost. I'll see you in a few hours. No, Bulldog Rick. Not you. I told you last time it had nothing to do with you. Wade Barrett is a great broadcaster. Big man, Wade Barrett is back with WWE doing broadcasting now. And he's actually really good at it. And Baron Corbin is doing phenomenal too. Him and Dijak are a tag team in MLW, killing it. Johnny Wrestling is the real deal, but WWE don't use him right. After the DIY split, got screwed. Oh yeah, you know they just don't look at Johnny Gargano as the talent he really is on the main roster, and that's what sucks. And he knew that was going to happen. That's why he never wanted to go to the main roster. He had X Sean to stay in NXT. But he told him, he said, I'm sorry, it's not up to me. If it was up to me, I'd keep you here. Once they call you up, you're up. There he is. There's my man from Sports Highlights. What up, Daniel? Too sweet. Yeah, WWE didn't release Wade Barrett, or correction. Wade Barrett's back in WWE. He did get released at one point, big man, but they brought him back. But as an announcer, and he's doing broadcaster, and he's fantastic. But Baron Corbin is released, and Baron Corbin and Dijak are gone. Retrobug said, that's how I got my small, lovely community, is by doing instead of begging and begging. Yes, sir, Retro. See, you get it. And the best part, too, was it wasn't even like it was a bunch of people that were here all the time. Half the names were like people I've never even seen before that did it that night, too, just to piss me off even more. Hell, let's bring Doink the Clown back. You know what? And they could, because it's all it is face paint. You can put anybody under the paint. And if they brought Doink the Clown back, but did it like a gritty Doink the Clown, it would work. Obviously you got to make sure you don't make him like the Joker, though. So you don't want to, you can't go too much towards that way, but you still can make him a badass clown. They need a carnival faction. Yep, Wade Barrett's from the UK too. He was a real boxer guy. Like, he did bare knuckle boxing. There we go. Before wrestling, Wade Barrett is actually a legitimate tough guy. That's been Becky and Toink as an evil clown. Oh man, if we got little evil mini Doinks with him too, oh, that would be priceless. Yeah, Doink and Danhausen tag team no. Take everybody that was a mini Danhausen and make them a mini Doink instead. Let's put Danhausen back in his little time machine thing to never come back again. Hunter, I do the Doink the Clown. I got oh, that was great. W.P.F, I'm a clown. No, you're not. You're my Irish psychopath. Come on. You can't be a clown. They need characters and actual gimmicks instead of NPC 2K wrestlers that just say, me, number one, me, powerful, me, rip your head off. We need factions. Factions. We need factions. Factions makes wrestling interesting. The best gimmicks we've seen in wrestling in the last 20 years had factions involved, managers involved. Yep, Barrett did freestyle knuckle fights. Barrett is a legit bad motherfucking ass. Oh no, I've been clowned. Curse, help. If Danhausen went to try the curse, Doink the Clown, they'd probably roll him up and make a balloon and beat him with it. And somehow that balloon would turn into a brick. Barrett was a legit bare knuckle boxing champion. Yes, sir. Retro, you are cursed. No, but hell no. Doink the Clown and Danhausen as a tag champ. You were cursed for saying that for an idea. There you go, Rob. I'm always a psychopath. There we go. Now we're talking, Rob. Yeah, it's true. If you're a mod, you can't be cursed. It's like the curse. You have the potion to the curse. Do it for the kids. You damn right, Rob. You're the WPF. You're WPF's Irish psychopath. All right. Did anybody watch the TNA SLAMMiVERSARY? Because this was actually a great show. I watched TNA SLAMMiVERSARY first because I thought they were going to shit the bed. And I got to say, TNA SLAMMiVERSARY was really fucking good. I felt like a proud father watching TNA wrestling. Oh yeah, my name is Macho Retro, the must, and I am not cursed. In fact, I am a WPF peacekeeper and the cream of the crop. I like that, Retro. Nice. Okay, so I know I got D said he watched it. Who else? Let me know. Who watched TNA SLAMMiVERSARY? Yo, Raw Man, what up, brother? Too sweet. Laugh to answer your TNA question, but sadly no. Don't worry, Retro. I'll tell you what you need to know. So they had their traditional Destination X match where they got the wires up top that make the X, and you got to get the belt to win the match. The match itself was but guys, it had some good shit though. And one of the best things they did was they brought back Amazing Red. Man, yo, if you don't know Amazing Red, you could thank him for high flying wrestling. Let me tell you, half of these guys stole Amazing Red's style. Bro, Amazing Red was doing moves that nobody else could do. They tried replicating it, duplicating it, stealing it every which way. Amazing Red is such a good talent. He's from Brooklyn, New York. And not only did they bring Amazing Red back, after the match was over, Frankie Kazarian thanked him, and Frankie Kazarian wore the same color gear that he wore in his first ever X match, which was cool too. And Amazing Red didn't know this. He told him, look up, and they had a video package of Amazing Red throughout the years of him in TNA. And at the end of that package, Amazing Red will be in the TNA Hall of Fame. He's going into the Hall of Fame this year at Bound for Glory. And I couldn't think of somebody better than Amazing Red that should be going into a Hall of Fame. That man is so innovative. And it was like he never missed a day. You would never think that Amazing Red was as old as he is. Like he still got it. Like he never missed a beat. Yo, Amazing Red's the GOAT of the House of Glory in TNA. Respect, man. Oh yeah. Bro, when they were showing the young clips of him in TNA, I forgot that's what he looked like that young. He looks so different than what he looks like now. Man, Amazing Red was such so amazing this guy is. So that was huge. To me, that was the biggest thing. Seeing that they did the right thing, and I was hoping that they were going to put him in the Hall of Fame when they were doing that whole video package. I thought, wait a minute. So that was really awesome to do that. Amazing Red Man, still a badass. Hells yeah. Then we had a three-way match for Mustafa Ali's belt. Man, let me tell you, since Mustafa Ali has left WWE and gone to TNA, bro, this guy's phenomenal right now. He's at top of his game. TNA has been really good for him. And the match was a three-way match. But the big thing was who Santino, because Mustafa Ali didn't know who his opponents were going to be. What opponents? Not important, but this one guy is a big deal because he is now officially part of the TNA roster. Apollo Crews is not with WWE anymore. He's back to using his original name, Uhaa Nation. And he's in TNA, and he looks better than ever. Let me tell you, it's like he got a whole brand new life. Rich Swann was the other one, actually, that was in the match. It was Rich Swann Mustafa Ali, and Uha Nation. And I swear you could see the light bulb went off in his head that he was so happy to be back to wrestling. Hey, Bulldog Rick, have a good night, brother. I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, cancer. You damn right, brother. Feel better, Bulldog Rick. I'll see you Friday night, brother. Well, TNA does have a working relationship with WWE. I just wonder how much control WWE has on TNA. So I think it's more of when they're going over to the WWE side, because when they were doing all the angles together, there were certain people that they told TNA couldn't that they had in the company could not be on NXT TV, which Eddie Edwards, I believe, was one of them. But you know how everything goes. If WWE putting money in TNA's pockets, TNA will let them do whatever they want. But that was a great to see that Uha Nation is back. And the minute I saw him come out to that Uha Nation, I said, holy shit, something's up. He would be using Apollo Crews if this was a one-off. And then they had a segment with him and Moose backstage where Moose said, I'm happy you're here. And he said, I'm happy to be here finally. So, and then they made another comment saying that Uha Nation is officially part of the TNA roster. Man, I'm excited to see where this goes. Hit that subscribe and like button. Damn right. Tell him, big man. TNA, they will not die, man. This company will not go out. They have been flirting with with them closing the doors for good for so many years. And somehow TNA always comes back. No matter how bad things are or whatever's going on, they find a way. And they found the way the Slammiversary night. The fucking show was awesome. You had new tag champs for the ladies. Rosemary and Demon Bunny beat the Elegance brand for the tag titles. That was cool. They had a nice match. Um, Elias McMahon was all wrestling run by others. Hey, there's rumors that Vince might be coming back. Apparently, TKO wants Vince back. We'll see what happens. And hey, never say never on Shane. You never know. Shane could always come back if he wants. All right, who else do we got that before the main event? Oh, they had a great match with Moose versus Eddie Edwards, and they had a cool stipulation. You had to, each one had one person with them, and the way to win the match was the person with you had to throw in the white towel. And Eddie Edwards had his wife, of course, and Moose had a Fandango. I forget what Fandango's name is in TNA. He goes by his real name, but he's always going to be Fandango to me from WWE. But that match was great. And Moose at the end got to spear Eddie Edwards and his wife at the same time through a table with chains wrapped around them. I love you, Bulldog Rick. Feel better, my brother. Fuck cancer. And two, sweet. Then we had. Try to think of what was the. Before we hit the main event. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Okay. We had a 4-way tag title match. That was a ladder match. You had the Hardy Boys versus Mustafa Ali's goons. They're called the Great Hands versus the TNA Tag Champs, the System, which is the Bear and Brian Myers. And you had, to me, these guys could be like the next Wyatt family. The Righteous. Bro, these guys are so fucking good. The Righteous. If you don't know who the Righteous is, check them out. And they're exactly where they should be company wise. Because the Righteous and the Hardys got this ongoing feud that's just awesome. So this 4-way ladder match was dope. The Hardy Boys won, making them, I forgot now how many times now they're the tag champs, but they won the tag titles back. Go Hardys. Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero are your tag team champions. Pretty much every title that got defended on TNA SLAMMiVERSARY changed hands except for the X Division title. Cedric Alexander did some snake shit because, you know, in the opening match, you had that X Division match where you got to get the belt and land on the floor. So Amazing Red and I think it was who was it with Amazing Red? They were fighting over the belt. And the belt was already off the hook, and Cedric Alexander just was on the floor, ran by, ripped the belt, and kept running. But other than the X Division title, every belt changed hands. The women's world title. Now, to me, this was the worst match of the night. I don't care about the challenger. I don't care about the women's champion. So TNA's women's champion is actually WWE NXT reject. As harsh as that sounds. She could not hack it in NXT and got the boot. And I do not think that this girl should have held the world title for TNA. She's not ready. And if you think TNA is boring, man, you haven't watched it then. In a long time. Bro, the Hardys are awesome. The system's good. They got a lot of good guys. They just don't have enough of guys. That's their only problem. If TNA could get some more talent, man, they could make some noise. They just don't have enough of variety for you. That's their only downfall. The talent that they have now is good. Their women's division's weak, but their men's division's good. And it used to be the opposite. It used to be that TNA had a solid women's division and the men's division wasn't all that. But hopefully, with all these wrestlers that WWE got rid of, hopefully some of them start showing up places like TNA that could be used. Because if you're not going to go to, if you're not getting signed by AEW, TNA is the only other company like with a real TV deal. You know, MLW is cool too, but even though I like MLW more than TNA, they're not, they're not higher than TNA. TNA is on AMC. That's a damn good place to be right now. AMC has all the great shows like The Walking Dead and stuff. Was all on AMC. But then you had the main event. You had Dolph Ziggler from WWE versus Mike Santana. Mikey Santana from the Bronx in just an amazing match. And I thought I was going to be wrong. I thought Dolph Ziggler doesn't win it. I want Dolph Ziggler to win it, but I thought they were going to keep the belt on Mike Santana. But I was so happy that they went with who I thought they should have put the belt on, and that was Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is the new TNA champion. Dolph Ziggler is so fucking good. And if you forgot who Dolph Ziggler is, remember, Dolph Ziggler was the guy that when WWE wanted you to be the next top guy, but you weren't, but you were garbage in the ring, he would put you with Dolph Ziggler because Dolph Ziggler can make you look like you're $1,000,000. And Dolph Ziggler did that for everybody he was in the ring with. He made every single talent he wrestled with in WWE look like they were the drizzling shits. I'm sorry, that they were the shits, not the drizzling. And which is why I'm still shocked that WWE would ever get rid of him. Like, you don't get rid of Dolph Ziggler, a guy that you use to get guys over. If you don't have nothing for him, put him in NXT. Let him start helping getting the guys down there over, the ones that you really know are going places. Bring back TNA to Double J Jeff Jarrett. Man, You remember when Double J owned TNA in the very, very beginning? Man, that was so TNA was so cool back then when they were the Renegade company, like. Man, you had everybody back then. Scott Hall was there, Kevin Nash, Booker T, Conan, Scott Steiner, Sting, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe. Like, come on. The guys that have gone that were in TNA. Fun fact, Big E started as Dolph Ziggler's bodyguard in WWE. Yep. You had Dolph Ziggler, Big E, and AJ Lee. And Dolph Ziggler had that not Dolph Ziggler. Big E had like the Nation of Domination singlet on. Man, I swear I thought they were gonna make Big E start the Nation of Domination again. Which would have been cool. There's still rumors running wild. The New Day is still going to AEW. I kind of thought that they were gonna be there for Forbidden Door. I was kind of let down that didn't happen, but I also noticed that nothing with the Hurt Business was on TV either. So that could be why. Yep, I agree, Hunter. The greats of TNA, even AJ Styles. Hell's yeah. That's my guy right there, AJ Styles. Woo! Yep, the baby blue singlet. Actually, AJ Styles, what he's doing right now is he's been going to his son's matches. And cool as shit, his son, he's got the same gloves on like AJ would wear with the pants and everything. And you see a picture of AJ Styles in the ring holding his son's hand up after the match. I know he's done this at least twice, and he looks so happy. Man, I'm happy for him. I hope we get another eight. I hope his son ends up being just as good as him. I'd love to have a new AJ Styles that's part of the same bloodline. The New Day 90-day non compete clause is not up until August. Okay. There we go. There's the problem. Man, I hate that rule. I think that rule is so trash. You know, there should be a whole loophole to this shit, right? Like, if I leave the company, there should be a 90-day complete, then there's a no compete clause for 90 days. I get it. But if the company fires my ass, fuck that. I should be able to show up the next night on a rival promotion's TV. I should not have to wait 90 days when I got fired. I don't understand why the wrestlers don't get together and put shit like that in motion. Like, if everybody was on the same page, AEW and WWE, neither company is going to turn around and be like, okay, the entire roster, you're fired. It's not happening. Never in a million years can they fire the entire roster and be ready to put on a show. And because there is no off season for wrestling, there's always there's always going to be over 2 shows every week. You got Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, for instance, that's televised. Then you got a bunch of shows that aren't televised during the week. So they cannot afford to turn around and threaten to fire the entire roster. It won't happen. They don't have enough of time. And for that reason alone, they should put some shit on, into effect that saves them. They can only do indie shows and autograph signings. Like, well, I'm not surprised on the autograph signings. That makes sense. And I guess I could see why they're gonna do with the whole indie thing, because an indie show's not competition to them. You also know what pisses me off about people and promoters trying to run in other people's territories where they already run wrestling. We have that going on with another promotion in the business. That's a big no-no. Hells yeah. I don't know what they call it in wrestling, but I know in YouTube we call it subscriber pirates. Hey, I didn't make the term up. This term was made long before I ever came on the internet, but it's called subscriber pirates. It's people that go around to chats that they have zero interest of what's going on in what the channel is about. They're not there to help the channel grow. They're there just to get whatever they can get out of the channel for themselves. And then they're out. And then they disappear. Subscriber pirates. And because I've been around for a while, I am grateful to know the difference of a subscriber pirate and just someone who's looking for help. Because obviously there's always a difference. That's why, like I said, if somebody needs help on what to do, you can easily contact me when I'm not live and ask me, hey, Hunter, I'm doing this. Is there a better way to do it? Or, Hunter, could I ask you, how would I blah, blah, blah? These are easy things you can always ask me. I'm not hard to get in touch with. I have 2 Instagram channels, 2 Facebook channels. What the hell's that other one that people go on? Was it Twitch or something with a T? Twitter, maybe? I don't know. I don't really go on it, but the point is if you message me on any of those accounts, it'll come up on my phone that I got a message with the person's name that messaged me, so that way I'll know, and then I'll go see. Yeah, asking about stuff that has nothing to do with what my topic is or what my channel is while I'm live. That's just being selfish. You know, you want to do something, you ask me on the side. It's always how you gonna, you got no chance of asking me while I'm live doing something else. You ask me privately one on one. That's the right way to do it. Raw Man said, "Yep." Raw Man, I know you know the deal, my brother. You've been around. You've seen the bullshit. D said new wrestling names on the independent circuit and at conventions appearances. Kofi Kingston is going by Kofi, while Xavier Woods is using his former indie name, Austin Creed. You know, I had a feeling that Xavier Woods was going to go back to Austin Creed. It's got to be so weird for Kofi, though. You know, he's been in WWE for like, what was it, 17 years? Like, to now have to start all over? That's not right. Kofi Kingston should have been getting a Rolex from WWE as a thank you for all the years you put in. Not an argument on his contract asking him to take a half a pay cut. It's not right. You don't do that shit. The NWA started the rules like we say. Live by the sword, die by the sword. No, you're good, big man. But back to TNA. TNA gets boring watching it to me. Well, you know what it is? All these companies for their, it's hit or miss sometimes with their, with their TV shows. You know, TNA now has been pretty good. I'm not going to say every week it's great. Hell no. Like I said, I watched TNA SLAMMiVERSARY expecting it to be a flop. Instead, it ended up being terrific. So I'm actually happy to watch TNA next week. I didn't watch TNA the last 2 weeks TV shows because it wasn't doing it for me. But now I'm actually looking forward to TNA after this. I hope they keep it up. And it's hard for them to keep it up. They don't have enough of talent. How many times could we watch Mike Santana fight Dolph Ziggler, Eddie Edwards, or Moose? Like, that's it. Who else? Yeah, instead he got a boot in his ass and told, "Good luck on your future endeavors." For real, like, do it. And if I was the rest of the talent, seeing the way they treated Coffee would make me think twice too. Like, yo, if they did that to Coffee, how quick would they throw us out? You're damn right. TKO did Coffee Kingston dirty. And you know what? I think it's disgusting also, though, that talent didn't get together to help fight for him. Like, this isn't a guy who just became on the roster. This man is literally the longest guy you got on the roster right now that's been in the company. There is nobody that was in WWE longer than Kofi Kingston right now. And thinking of that, knowing that he can still go, he hasn't lost a step. I think it would have been nice if the talent got together and fought for Kofi Kingston. You know, if the right talent, if like a Roman Reigns, a Roman Reigns turns around and says, "Yo, not him." Who do you think they want to make unhappy? You think they want Roman Reigns to be unhappy? Hell no. You think of Cody Rhodes they want to be unhappy? Nope. Even the little shit Danhausen got power right now. You got Cody and Danhausen that are the number one and number two biggest merch sellers. Then you got Roman Reigns, who is the biggest WWE attraction star that they have. Oh, if these guys turned around and said Coffee does not leave, what are they going to do? You're going to take a chance of losing Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes at the same time? No way. And knowing CM Punk, he would absolutely stand up with them for Coffee doing something like this. So it's Seth Rollins. So now it's simple. Coffee stays, or you take a chance of losing Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. Yeah, that ain't happening. Not in a million years are they going to take a chance. The wrestlers need to start a union. Then that bullshit won't happen. Absolutely. And it's sad because throughout the years, there was always talks about them starting a union. And that was always what, places like WWE were actually afraid of. That's one thing they do not want happening. They do not want you starting a union because they know if wrestlers get a union, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Look at R-Truth. We got real lucky with R-Truth. They tried to fire R-Truth, and the fans literally got his job back for him. Tell him, King, smash that like button. Hit that like and subscribe button. Show everybody you want to rock with the number one wrestle talking channel, late night channel around. How do I unblock someone? You probably would have to unblock. I'm not 100% sure because I never blocked somebody like that. But if it works the same way like when I do with a troll or something, what you'd have to do is you'd click on their name, and when you click on their name, there's 3 dots that only you would see on their name, and you click those 3 dots, and it comes out, and it comes up delete comment, put user in timeout, ban user, and delete their comments. And you get those kind of options. So I'm guessing it would be that's how you would unblock somebody also. I have a union job, and the last thing they want us to do is go on strike. Big facts. Bro, you cannot F with the union. And it is so hard to get fired from the union. Yo, I had a friend that he was such a screw up. He should have got fired probably 15 times before he ended up actually getting the can. And being in a union saved his ass. He kept getting these unrealistic chances that nobody would have got if it wasn't for being in a union. I can't click on their name. I blocked them. I don't see their name. All right, so King got it. You got to go inside your YouTube settings to unblock people. Yeah, that's probably it. Also, remember, anybody who is a member of the other channel, make sure tomorrow night you come through to the other channel. We will be doing some giveaways for the end of the month for our members. And put it in the chat. Slash. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. I'll be at work, but I'll get on there at some point, brother. Yes, sir, D. Because tomorrow night we got 1, 2, but 3. We got 3 giveaways that are gonna go down tomorrow night on the other channel. That is brought to you by AMC Theaters. AMC Theaters hooked your boy up with some stuff for me to use as some giveaways. We got some popcorn buckets, some posters. So one of the beauties of becoming a member is you automatically get entered in every giveaway. You qualify for the giveaways. So there'll be 2 giveaways for everybody tomorrow night and 1 giveaway for the level 2 guys. Because there's only 2 levels for memberships. You got a 99-cent level and a $1.99 level. And when I say everybody, I mean members. You know, giveaways are for members only always. It wouldn't be fair to people that are members if it wasn't for members. So, for instance, if you do level 2 and if you're a level 2 member and you're in a regular giveaway, you have 2 like your name would be in the giveaway on the wheel twice instead of once. And then level 2 also gets you special giveaways there'll be at times there's special giveaways that are just for level 2s. Plus you get like cool emojis and stuff like that. I just added 2 more emojis actually. I didn't know it would let me do more than what I had already. So you got a bunch of like cool emojis. There's a wrestling emoji on there also. I think I made it the Outsiders for the wrestling emoji. But it's a bunch of cool shit. You know, we're gonna keep trying to we're gonna try to do giveaways the last week of every month as a thank you to everybody who became a member. I can't wait till we can start doing stuff like that over here. Because I know it is shit. We got everything we need to be monetized over here. But let's see, what's the one thing that's stopping the wrestling channel from being monetized? Switch accounts, go on the wrestling channel. All right. Go to earn. Yeah, so watch time hours. It's the hardest thing to get when you start a channel. The hardest thing to get is watch time hours. You need to get 4,000 total watch time hours. That shit is such a pain in the ass. Now, because remember, there's only 24 hours in one day. And you only get watch time hours for the time you're in the chat. So it's a real grind to get your watch time hours up. How close are we? We are at 1650 out of 4,000 we have. So we still got a long way to go, unfortunately. But the funny thing is, they usually think that by the time you get your watch hours, you'll get the other criterias. And the other big criteria was actually subscribers. They want you getting 1,000 subscribers. We did that. We broke that in 3 months. We broke that shit easily, which was so crazy. But we'll do it. You know, if we need more. We gotta get some more bodies over here. See that's why sometimes I keep when a troll comes through, I don't get rid of a troll right away. Instead, I'd rather leave the troll here and we'll make fun of the troll. Because that troll doesn't comprehend that we're using him for watch time hours. So he thinks he's trolling us when we're really trolling the shit out of him. which is even a bigger laugh for us. But we'll get there, we'll get there eventually. Once we get there, we'll be able to do memberships and all that cool shit that we do over on the other channel over here too. But it's 3:00. My ass got to go to sleep. I got to be up in the freaking morning. Unfortunately, I wish I didn't have to be, but so thank you everybody for coming through as always. And don't forget tomorrow night, or technically later tonight at this point, between 8:30 and 9:00, I'll be going live. I try to go for 8:30, but usually it doesn't work out and it's a little later, but it won't be later than 9 and it won't be earlier than 8:30. So come through if you can. If you're a member already, definitely drop in and say what up. So that way you get put on the wheel. And good luck to anybody who is a member. I wish you best of luck and win some goodies tomorrow night. Because when you hunt with the pack, you never hunt alone. As always, everybody, stay hunting and watch your damn wrestling.